U.S. household debt reaches record high at the end of Q2 2021. Not inflationary, my friends, not inflationary. We're going to read this data from the Federal Reserve I think it's of New York. Let's take a gander, shall we? I think I can click right there. Why doesn't this thing want to? Yeah, it's from the New York Fed. Household debt and credit report. Total household debt climbs, boosted by growth in mortgages and auto loans. Yeah, I wonder why. Because the housing cost is going up big time. People are buying more and more house because whatever reason, they're certainly leveraging to the hilt to buy. It's crazy. So this is a problem with higher cost houses, that you're going to take on more debt, which means you're more enslaved to the debt machine. And on top of that mean you're not going to have as much disposable income to spend. That's literally just fact. Remember, that's why George Bush says he didn't want ideologues in his administration, unlike the Reagan administration. He wanted people with mortgages. Yeah, you wonder why, don't you? All right, so let's total household debt rose by $313 billion, 2.1%, to reach $14.96 trillion in the second quarter. Mortgage balances, the largest component of household debt, rose by $282 billion, and auto loans by another $33 billion. Credit card balances ticked up by $17 billion, while student loan debt decreased by $14 billion. That's good. Mortgage originations, which include mortgage refis, reached $1.2 trillion, surpassing the volumes even seen in the preceding 3 quarters. Auto loan originations, which include both loans and leases, reached a record $202 billion. New extensions of credit hit series highs. Forbearance participation declines as program end near. So we got non-housing debt is in the red, and housing debt by far and away. And this is only going to keep going too, as the millennials get into more and more home buying ages, which they are. So we just have more and more debt. And of course, who spends money, my friends? It's not old retirees. It's the young folks. You know, the people, was it 25 to 50 or 25 to 45? That's a target demo that all the advertisers are shooting for, because that's where the money's spent. Look at this. So a huge decline in mortgage balances, household debt is going right back up. Look at that, man. Mortgage balances, we told that, increased by $282 billion in the second quarter, and it stood at $10.5 trillion by the end of June. Balances on home equity line of credit saw a $13 billion decline. That's good. The 18th anyway, so balance on home equity line of credit saw a $13 billion decline, the 18th consecutive decrease since 2016. Wow. Still $322 billion on your balances, on your home equity line. All right, so I was working with a guy the other day, a client, nice guy, and it's interesting. He's he's a general contractor, and he said, I'm telling you, this is the exact same thing that happened in Japan. I'm telling you right now. So this is not inflationary. All this consumer debt piling on. Consumer debt is typically in a credit report, you can consider consumer debt as credit cards, car loans, and mortgages are not consumer debt. But we're just going to throw it all into household debt. It's probably a better way to look at it. Anyway, so this guy got smoked in 2007 and 8. Smoked. He basically worked for free for the next 3 years, in which just to pay his employees. He basically wasn't making any money. Now, he had a little bit of saved, but he spent all his investments. He saved some money. He had some money saved, and he spent it all down in order waiting for the market to pull back up, which it did. It did, but that's why you have 3-4 years of cash, by the way. But anyway, and he's got no debt, and he says, I'll never borrow again, ever. That's the balance sheet recession. It doesn't matter what the interest rates are. It doesn't matter if they give you a free toaster at the bank. You're not going to borrow money if you went through that. He said, dude, it was for 3 years I had no income. It basically bankrupted me. I didn't go bankrupt, but basically I said I'll never do that again. Exact same thing happened in Japan. People aren't just going to borrow money because the rates are low, my friends. And that's what inflation is based on, the velocity of money. The interest rates are low, inflation will be high. No. We know that's simply not true. Any economist who preaches that now is a fool. Could it be true? Sure. But there's no, this happens, that happens. It's fanciful to think that. Now, when you have huge amounts of debt piling on, car loans and mortgages, that's just less cash flow that you have to spend on other discretionary things. I'm telling you, it's not deflationary. You're spending all that money in the bank to pay off your mortgage. I'm telling you. And if your mortgage is 45% of your debt to income, you have 45% DTI, debt to income ratio, that only leaves you 55%. That's before taxes, 401ks, health insurance. Not inflationary. All right, love to hear your thoughts. We'll see you.